The EZONE 98 is undoubtedly one of the most important rackets in the world. It's a bestseller defining its segment in the market, and you can find it in the hands of actual pros on the actual tour, because really it promises what may be the perfect blend of power, control, comfort, and spin. But for 2025, Yonex has updated their bestseller, leaving us with one big question. Is it good?
Now obviously there are a few problems with testing the EZONE in Canada currently. Number one, it's filled with ice and snow. Number two, the impending trade relationship between Canada and the US is really stressing us out.
There are growing fears of a major global trade war tonight after President Trump announced sweeping tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China.
So we thought,
starting tomorrow.
Why don't we go to America and try to repair some of those relationships?
Now Yonex has changed some things with this new EZONE, widening the hoop shape at the top, thickening the beam in the tip, and most importantly, they've added the vomit from moth larvae into the throat of the racket to make it more flexible. The goals here are clear: increase comfort without sacrificing any power. And to find out if Yonex has succeeded, we will be performing some tests. For every test the EZONE passes, the EZONE gets a point. If the EZONE gets enough points, we can therefore determine that it is a good racket.
Too slow. Where's over there? Okay.
The rules of the test are simple. We play a 10-point tiebreaker, and if the EZONE manages the win, it passes the test. But if I lose because of that goddamn EZONE, it fails.
So Beckett just finished off a 10-point tiebreaker with Oak. He won, what the score, like 10-7?
10-7,
10-7, yeah. Great score. You were using your EZONE. What are the three things that you really liked about this version?
I feel like you get a great sensation of where you made contact in the hoop. Yeah. Like, yes, it is pretty muted. I'm sure that's something you felt as well. Right. But I can still feel, did I hit it center? Did I hit it off center? You get this great feedback in terms of the flex without it feeling unstable necessarily.
Yeah, definitely.
So I like that. I think the comfort's up and down depending on your string setup. But for me, it was overall quite comfortable.
What do you have the strung with?
So this is Polytour Strike in the mains, Pro in the crosses. It's the Ben Shelton setup.
Nice.
He does tighter crosses than mains, but Yonex recommends tighter mains and crosses, right? Yeah. So I do 51-49.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
What are the three things you disliked about this?
I feel like it's not actually that easy to use. So easy one, it's supposed to be easy, but the sweet spot feels small, and I feel like it's not very rewarding off center. There are rackets, even in the 98 square inch head size, like the Pure Air 98, that are going to perform way better off center. This one you have to be precise with your footwork. Launch angle is quite low on center and high off center. Did you find that too?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Because I thought I was dumb.
But it's like your RF. In that same
kind
way.
of,
like it has a variable playability throughout the
Right,
hoop.
you can do so many things with it, but you really need to, you have to know what you're wanting to do.
Yeah.
You can't just be willy-nilly just trying to,
And like I find this and your RF, I both have this great like sensation of where the tip of the frame is, which is great for backhand slice. Not that that's a shot that I use, but that's a shot you use. Great for Eastern forehand, I think as well.
Definitely.
The second test of the EZONE 98, a 10-point tiebreaker against Kyle Porschke. Is it good? Is it bad? It's totally result dependent. 9-7.
Alright, me and Simon just played 10-point tiebreak. I'll be honest, I don't think he felt very comfortable with it, especially on the first serve, did it?
No, I didn't make a did I make? I switched to second serve.
You switched to second serve. Yeah, I mean, I feel like your ground strokes got more comfortable throughout. But like,
First of all, I did not expect you to play that good. That was annoying.
Yeah, I did play pretty well. The amount of tennis that we've been playing this weekend, it, you know, warms me up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like you were swinging to your fullest extent, pull through, serve, anything quite.
I don't think that's like, I mean, I'm a little scared of this racket currently. It's very, very stiff, and it caused me a lot of pain yesterday, and I think I have a shadow of fear of that.
Yeah, that makes
Today
sense.
it's been okay, but honestly, I don't know. I think I played okay given the circumstances.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm the one. You're the one with everything to lose. I just get to
No,
go out there.
man, you pressed.
Yeah, you
pressed.
played good. You played so good.
I played.
I
Yeah,
was concerned.
go out there and let it loose. Yeah, but as soon as you started, those, you know, you got me on a couple just deep, high spin balls at the end, and I couldn't take care of them.
Yeah.
So, but
Good match.
good match.
What's your favorite thing about the E-Zone?
I think when you're in position and you have good technique, good footwork, it is a very rewarding racket. It can generate power. Honestly, I think it's a good racket. It just hurts to use for me.
So that's your number one least favorite thing, is like the discomfort you're having.
It's painful for me to the point that I'm angry at it, and Japan as a whole.
Like, where is the pain coming?
I just think it's a super stiff racket.
Because it's not a stiff racket. Like, the viewers are going to be
It
like,
feels
Simon,
stiff. It feels stiff to me.
yeah, so
It
in
feels
your
like a
arm,
ball.
where's the pain?
I'm getting into my wrist and in my shoulder
Okay.
a lot.
What
a lot more
shots?
than normally.
What shots?
Forehand especially.
Forehand especially.
Which could just be technique based.
Yeah.
We're not addressing it.
Like, do you feel like it makes you push and press and swing a little bit harder than you're comfortable?
Yes, you have to swing this
Yeah.
one out. To get anything out of it, you have to swing out, accelerate, use your whole body, or else you get nothing out of it. So I suspect it's a racket that's probably for someone who's better at tennis than me.
What would you change to make it better?
I would give it a bigger sweet spot, make it a lot easier to use, and somehow make it less stiff, even though apparently it's not stiff.
And with that, our final test, can the EZONE 98, the ultimate serve-bot choice, take down the ultimate serve-bot himself? He's GMP at home, he's a sponsored and taken man. It's Trey from Winners Only. So since I screwed up the hitting footage I got with the 10-pointer against Oak, Trey has substituted in because Oak went home after I beat him so badly. So we're gonna find out if this E-Zone is in fact good by seeing if I can beat Trey to 10. Thank you for letting me win. So, how did you think I played with this E-Zone? We've been playing all week. I've been using all sorts of stuff.
Playing all week. Honestly, the pace, like, you can hit the ball, I wouldn't say heavier, but it moves through the court faster with that.
Yeah,
Consistency, not as good. Spin potential, not near as much spin as your arrow.
yeah.
Serving, you had some massive ones. Some massive serves.
I feel like when I really find the sweet spot, I can get like a lot of juice.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of the time when I'm not finding the sweet spot, and like, yeah, okay, maybe it's because the court's a bit slippery, but there's days where you're not gonna feel good, which is gonna replicate a bad court, like
Right.
last night.
Yeah.
If we played last night and I used this, it would have been a hellscape for me.
Right. Consistency is not even close to what it
Yeah.
is with your arrow in that. But some of those shots were really going through the court pretty quickly.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
So objectively, the E-Zone scored a perfect 3 out of 3, meaning it is effectively a very good racket.
Seems like you're liking it. Would you prefer this over the previous version, or how would you compare?
So I'm actually not liking it. No.
That said, no one we let try this racket really liked it that much. Simon, I, and Allie, we all found it a bit demanding, not swinging cleanly, not giving you that really connected feel that you want from a racket with such a small sweet spot.
Even though I did play pretty well against Oak, I
Yeah,
think,
you were serving good.
I was serving well. Against my normal hitting partners in Vancouver, I was really struggling to find my groove. It took me a really long time to get the weight setup dialed in. So this is just a leather grip and some weight at 12. I think I have some in the butt as well. I'll put the specs on screen once I get home to measure everything. But I really struggled. The previous version, the Aqua Night, and then the 2020 were the EZONEs that I liked the best overall. I like them more than the DRs. This, I feel like, is a step back towards the DRs, if that's a playability you like. For me, it's just, I think you have to strike through the ball and hit flatter balls.
You really have to, you really have to go through it.
Yeah.
You can't be somebody who's using full Western and just brushing the ball, because that does not help. The Vico might.
Yes, the power is outstanding on center, but our really mixed experiences with comfort and general playability make us really question how to recommend this frame. Now, I think it's a great choice if you are coming, like Madison Keys, from those super control-oriented rackets designed for flatter hitters, and you're looking for something more powerful, like an Ultra Pro, a Blade Pro, or even the current Blade 98, and you want a big increase in on-center power. But that said, for the rest of us, those normal people like you and me who already use forgiving rackets, we don't use extremely demanding player sticks from 20 years ago, it's kind of hard to recommend this frame.
The Minolon, I feel like you can feel the throat flex. Like I was feeling the slingshot when I'm really hitting against a big hitter.
Did you like that though?
No.
Right.
I like
okay.
a uniform flex.
Thank you. Right. A lot of people say that they liked it, like the flex on it, and like to me it felt like it was lagging a bit to behind, like it was dragging almost.
Yes.
Like it was dragging behind you, and for some people like who swing fairly quick, like fairly fast, I think that was like a lacking
Like
point.
if you're coming from an H19 like Madison Keys, I can see how this would be like mind-blowingly great, because the precision on flatter shots is great.
I can't even say for sure that they've really increased comfort here because of the issues that Simon suffered, issues that he never suffered with the last version.
Yeah, that was another opinion I had about this as well. For a racket that is as powerful as it is, I feel like it was a bit too muted. Like the feedback wasn't.
Yeah, like I didn't mind it because I could still feel what was going on.
Okay.
Like the flex profile, I think was informative, even though you weren't getting a ton of vibration coming through. So, for me, it's not a pure con. Like I can see the value.
Yeah.
But I think it also hides the stiffness. Like Simon will talk about it also, but he's hurting his arm. The first time I strung it and played it stock with a low swing weight 317 strung, I was like, ooh, this feels really harsh and firm.
Now, I'm not sure if this comfort situation has to do with the user's swing speed. For example, Simon swings quite a bit slower than I do, and he's the one who really had arm problems. Me and Ali, we swing a little bit faster. Neither of us had arm issues, but when I was playing against slightly lower level players, trying to guide the ball back to increase the rallies I was having with them, I did feel a much firmer response out of this E-Zone, whereas when I was going balls to the wall against harder hitters, advanced players, you really bring out the flex of this frame. It's almost kind of like what Head was doing with UTech, but the opposite, right? So it's stiffer when the swing speeds are lower for better stability and more power, but then softens up as your swing speeds get higher for better control and better feel.
Then, depending on the string setup, I found string sensitivity as well.
Yeah.
Polytour drive soft.
It is quite string
nice.
sensitive, yeah.
We did try a few different setups with the string. First, I put in restring sync, and it didn't really work. I think there's not enough ball pocketing with that string to get the most out of this frame. Then I put in Yonex Polytour Drive Soft, an 8-sided super soft new offering from Yonex, and that was definitely a step in the right direction. But finally here, the Ben Shelton Polytour Strike Polytour Pro. Tension maintenance has been quite solid with this setup, to be honest. This is my favorite setup with this frame for sure. It adds a little bit of crisp liveliness compared to the Drive Soft. Restring Sync just had no magic. This one has a nice blend of spin, but also control. I think going with a round string is probably the way to go with this racket. If you think that it's gonna work for you, definitely doesn't work for me.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
No, I like the customization you've done on it. It plays a lot nicer as well. Yeah, it was great talking to you, dude.
Thank you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Trey and Tennis Warehouse for having us down in San Francisco. It's always a blast hanging out with our homies in the tennis industry. And if you want to support the channel, the best way to do so would be through our affiliate links in the description below, whether that be buying an EZONE through Tennis Warehouse Europe, Tennis Only, going for some strings from Restring, Toroline, True Pro, or Grapple Snake. We have leather grips. I put the VT Advantech leather grip on here. It plays great, feels the best. This is my favorite leather grip by far. We have PayPal donations in the description as well. And finally, we do sell Grapple Snake and Slinko strings. We will be stocking Restring quite soon. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.